What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. What affects your money, investing, the stock market, which Nancy Pelosi and her husband just made a major trade and lost money. Is this insider trading? I'll let you make the decision on. Yeah, we got that and a lot of details here in this video for you guys here. So let's jump right in. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos. Here we go. Yeah, so first up, Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, sells $4 million worth of NVIDIA, which is a chip maker, a semiconductor maker, computer chip maker, whatever you want to call it, at a major loss right before the semiconductor computer chip bill was passed in the Senate, which is really strange. Paul Pelosi lost $361,365,000 on his recent trade of NVIDIA stock. Like I said, really strange here. The trade of Paul Pelosi's was executed on July 26 when he sold 25,000 shares at an average price of $165 per share for a total loss of $341,000. This is right before they announced the $280 billion bill that was just approved in the Senate to boost U.S. computer chip making, technologies, semiconductor making. It just reeks of insider trading if it weren't for the fact that they lost $341,000 and then the stock went up. So they sold here on the 26th. Here's the stock, NVIDIA Corporation. They sold on the 26th. Here's the day they sold right here. And then the stock went up dramatically because, I mean, it's a chip company. It would benefit from the billions and billions and billions of dollars going to chip companies, computer chip companies. So look at how much it dramatically went up here. Like literally, it's just instantly jumped. It's just the oddest thing. It's a total head scratcher. Literally, I can't figure out why they would sell the day before a major announcement that a deal is going to go through. It's like insider trading, but you want to take a loss. It's like reverse insider trading to harm yourself. I don't even understand it. It's so odd. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but why would you sell the day before it's a massive gain? It's like what Martha Stewart did, but the reverse of it. It's like I it's like instead of trying to preserve your money, you sell to lose your money. Yeah. You know, the thing about Nancy Pelosi is she's reported, her and her husband, they're reported to be worth around $100 million, somewhere in that range. Mitch McConnell is reported to be worth around somewhere around $150 million. So, you know, their salaries of, you know, like $300,000 a year for both of them, or, you know, whatever they make, somewhere around there, is literally nothing. They could donate their salaries. They probably do donate more than their salaries. You know, like similar to, you know, former President Donald Trump donated his salary. They make way more than that. So the amount they donate is, you know, probably way more than that. Their salaries mean nothing because the amount they make in other deals and stuff on the side is just way more. Okay. But what Nancy Pelosi and her husband are doing, and what other politicians do with these stock traders, stock trading, and the inside knowledge they have is really sketchy because it's very risky for them. If you're worth $100 million, why would you want to even be dabbling with this, knowing what happened to like Martha Stewart and stuff like that? Why would you even want to put yourself at risk like that? I mean, if I were them, I would just put my money in an index fund where you just own a share of every single stock in the stock market. It's actually really difficult. I mean, maybe unless you have insider knowledge, but it's difficult to beat the index um, on a lot of occasions because that's just basically owning a share of the whole market, like you own, a share of it, every single company in the market. It's tough to beat that. And if you're Nancy Pelosi and you just put your money in that, as opposed to picking all these random different stocks, then you don't put yourself at risk of insider trading. Insider trading. In fact, Nancy Pelosi was just asked this.
The course of your career, has your husband ever made a stock purchase or sale based on information he received from you?
No, absolutely not. Okay.
Yeah, so you let me know your thoughts here in the comments, but this one's a head scratcher. They definitely didn't make money on this one. In fact, they lost hundreds of thousands of dollars on this one. Yeah, in fact, there was a bill introduced here recently to that would make it so congressmen, congresswomen would not be able to own individual stocks. They would only be able to own the index funds, like I said, that basically you wouldn't be able to buy NVIDIA or Google or Apple or Yahoo stock. You don't be able to buy the index fund, which is basically it's not an actively traded. You can't buy this. You wouldn't be able to buy NVIDIA right before a major semiconductor chips deal goes through and then sell it. You wouldn't be able to do things like that. You'd only be able to buy the index fund, which is one share of every single stock. Okay, but that bill has not been able to pass Congress yet. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Next up, it's being reported here that Biden may have just taken a major step towards solving America's fuel crisis. You can let me know your thoughts here on this. This comes as he is also here to sell an additional 20 million barrels of oil from the strategic reserve. Remember, he got criticized here for selling some strategic barrels of oil. Some went to China. He got criticized for that. They countered with that, saying that once it goes up for sale, anybody can buy it, and that it ended up going over to China, and that they didn't have any control on that. Yeah, once it was on the market. So you can let me know your thoughts here on this. But you can see here from Business Insider, which is not a Democrat, not a Republican, news outlet. That Business Insider is literally just kind of about business and the economy. The White House just said it will be able to guarantee buying some oil from drillers to replenish the emergency oil reserves, which they're depleting here pretty rapidly as they're sending it out to help reduce the cost of gas, which is going down here pretty rapidly as well. The Strategic Petroleum Reserve, also known as the SPR, is releasing oil at record levels to help cut gas prices. President Biden just took credit here recently for gas prices going down. You can let me know your thoughts if you think that he should get the credit. It's up to you if you think so or not. Gas prices keep dropping. But they say here, but it's largely due to cooling demand for fuel, based on what they're saying here. More gas price relief could be on the way for cash-strapped Americans as the government continues to tap into oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve stockpile. The Biden administration announced it would release even more crude oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, the SPR, and work to replenish the SPR's supply as well. The White House would do so by establishing a federal guarantee to buy oil from some drillers at preset prices to help restock the SPR. Interesting. It seems to be an effort to encourage more domestic drilling, which is a good thing. It's better than getting it overseas from Saudi Arabia during a stretch of high gas prices. The Energy Department will soon put forward a rule helping them to do that. Per the release from the White House, over 125 million barrels of crude oil have already been sold since the government first began its, quote, unprecedented releases in March. And the reserve is set to release about 180 million barrels by the fall. A report from the Department of Treasury estimates that releasing crude oil from the reserves has brought the prices of gasoline down by 17 to 42 cents a gallon from where it would be without federal action. You can let me know your thoughts on that. The plan to restock the strategic reserve at set prices is intended to sway producers to ramp up drilling, incentivize investments that might produce oil in the medium term, and locking in guaranteed demand. Interesting. And U.S. gas prices continue to fall pretty dramatically here. You can see here about 3 cents a day. That's 21 cents a week here. Remember, 3 cents a day is the largest drop we've ever seen here. So 21 cents a week, that's a lot. I mean, that's 3 cents a day. If that continues, that's 90 cents a month. If 3 cents a day happened every day, you can see here it's 427 here today. Yesterday was 430. Again, these are national averages, so you may vary. I've seen a lot of comments in the comment section of people that are in the $3 range. Some states are getting in the lower in the southeast close to $3. I've seen the low $3-ish, 350, below 350 in some places. Of course, if you're from California, you're raising the average for everybody else. My condolences to California. But yeah, you can see here. I mean, a week ago we were 444. So we've gone down there. What is that? 17 cents in a week. So it's almost a 21 cent of 3 cents a day. A month ago, we were at 488. 488. So what is that? About 61 cents in a month. That's pretty good for 1 month. I mean, if we dropped another 61 cents in another month, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. And what's interesting here is gas continues to drop. Even though, and so does diesel. Diesel continues to drop as well, even though oil is not really dropping anymore. But really, the price of gas has not caught up to oil, so I guess we're really making up for it. WTI crude really low here in relative terms. I mean, in relative terms, we're below $100 a barrel. So $97 a barrel. Remember, back in March, this was 135. So, I mean, we're down like 40% here. Brent crude kind of on the rise here at 107, starting to get kind of up there. You can see a $10 difference here, $10 a barrel difference here. Kind of strange here. Natural gas is kind of high there because we have a natural gas discrepancy going on over in Europe. I'll get to that here in a second. But you can see here, it is really nice to see this below $100 a barrel. You know, in late 2022, that's much better than what we used to have just a few months ago when this was, you know, near 140. This actually hit over 140 here a few months ago. So I know this could be lower, but these are very good numbers here. The question is what will happen here in the future. But there's a natural gas discrepancy and a shortage going on here in Europe. Yeah, you can see here Russia cuts gas flows further as Europe urges energy savings. This is actually just showing that the world needs to wean off Russian gas anyways. You can see the New York Times here, facing Putin's energy blackmail, Europe agrees to cut Russian gas use, which they had already announced. And this is really just helping them, or making them, maybe I should say, um, do it quicker. Do it quicker, as Putin's has basically kind of cut the gas pipeline to Europe and has decreased it here, which is kind of shooting himself in the foot per se, because now that Europe can't buy the oil from him, so now he's losing billions of dollars per day. You know, Europe had said we want to wean off it, but we kind of need to buy it, and then Russia basically said that they're going to start cutting the supply anyway. So Europe took the initiative here. You can see, fearing Russia could shut the taps this winter when they really need natural gas to heat homes, the European Union agreed to a deal on Tuesday to curb natural gas consumption starting next week. The latest show of resolve and solidarity in its push to shove with the Kremlin over President Putin's invasion over Ukraine. The deal highlighted and continued ability of the European Union to forge ahead with an agreement, even if blunted by compromise, and signified an important step in managing its dependence on Russian energy and overcoming divisions in the face of Russian threats, which is really just showing the world that nobody can deal with Russia anymore. The entire continent of Europe can't deal with Russia anymore. Today, the European Union has taken a decisive step to face down the threat of a full gas disruption by Putin. Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission, said in a statement. The European Union energy ministers agreed on a deal that encourages members of the bloc to voluntarily cut their natural gas consumption by 15% in order to manage their dependence on Russian energy. For now, the cuts, which aim for savings of up to 15% by the spring, will be voluntary, but could become binding should an energy supply crunch become an emergency. And the flow of Russian gas supplies 40% of the EU consumption. And really, this is why countries around the world, not just the US, but need to go forward with a multi-step approach. If I was the president, you can't stop drilling. You can't just say all renewable energy. You need to drill, but you also need to go forward with renewables because of things like this, okay? You look at $5 a gallon gas, it's ridiculously expensive, but you still need to drill because people have cars and a lot of people can't change, okay? So you need gas for cars especially, but when it comes to and natural gas for people's homes, but what you can change is things like a lot of the energy grid and stuff on the government level is you can start building a lot more like wind turbines, solar plants, and nuclear power plants in addition to help power so you could spend less natural energy and gas and stuff like that there so you can wean down on your consumption there, okay? And we know that car manufacturers are building more electric cars on their own. That's literally a lot of their own doing because demand is there, because people are buying, people that can buy electric cars, people that have the means to buy electric cars are buying them because they don't want to spend $5 a gallon gas or $4, $4.50, $4 a gallon gas, whatever it may be, right? So a lot of people that are, and we've seen this in the past with hybrids. Okay, hybrids getting 50 mile per gallon gas, or you get it right. If you can get 50 miles per gallon, people have been buying hybrids in the past. So a lot of people are switching that on their own because that's just their choice. Okay, why get 20 miles per gallon, 25 miles per gallon when you could get 50 miles per gallon? And that's why Priuses have been so popular for the people that like that type of car. Okay. I never really liked the styling of a Prius, but it is what it is. Going forward, this is why there's already 1 million electric vehicles in California. Now they're going to have to start upgrading the grid, especially in Texas, right? Texas has long overdue for upgrading the grid. They really need to work on that. They need to start adding more. You can't just say, "Oh, well, there's a problem. Let's just let it keep going for years." They got to start adding more. They got to start upgrading the infrastructure, and they got to start adding more. They got to start building more. And the key to building is not really building more gas and coal. The problem is gas is extremely expensive. And coal is dirty and expensive because if anything that has to be dug out of the ground continuously over and over and over is expensive. If you have to dig it out of the ground and you burn it and it's gone instantly, or as soon as you burn it, it's expensive. Where like things like nuclear power, wind power, and solar power, you put up solar and they're there for decades or long, many years, right? That's less expensive. You put up wind turbines and they're there for many years. They're less expensive. You put up a nuclear power plant and they're there for many years. They're less expensive. You don't have to you get coal out of the ground. How long does the coal last? You get gas out of the ground, you put gas in your car. How long does it last? A week? That's the problem, right? But the other issue is you have to be both sides. You can't stop drilling because if you need gas in your home, if your heater runs off gas, you still need it. If your car runs off gas, you still need it. So you have to run a not and I hate how this stuff is political, but I'll use the political analysis here. You can't be a Democrat or a Republican approach. You have to be a down the middle approach. You have to say we need both. We have to run both here. But we can't just run off only coal and gas because it's expensive. It's expensive. And when you have somebody like Putin who's going to say, I'm going to take away all the oil and gas from you guys, ha ha ha, I'm going to threaten you guys with it, or I'm going to raise the price on it, or I'm going to just literally, as a war threat, yank it from you guys instantly. Yeah, it presents a huge problem. And it raises the prices of everybody here. Look at natural gas is going up now quickly. So that's a problem here when winter comes and you go to heat your home with natural gas. Look at look what's happening to natural gas now. That's going up. And it's because of what's going on in Europe and Putin. He's threatening this natural gas and it's causing the price of natural gas to go up. So I know people think that, oh, the war doesn't have anything to do with us. It's well, that's a hoax, right? But the price of natural gas is going up dramatically now because of what's going on over there. It causes the prices to go up worldwide. Yeah, so this is how things work. Supply and demand. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country. Make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel, and I'll keep you up to date. You can click here to see the deal just done by Senator Joe Manchin. And you can click here to see the $280 billion bill that was just passed here as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.